Hi, guys. Welcome to a little bit of woo woo. I'm your host, Jill Thomas. Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you guys. I'm so happy to see you. I always am. I love doing these videos. They're so much fun for me, and I appreciate all of the comments and the likes. All of that means so much to me. It's so much support, and I love that. Okay, so I got a weird eclectic list to go over, and so just humor me. There's a lot going a lot of different directions with this particular one today. Okay, so this is being recorded on December 3rd at 11 a.m. Pacific, and it's being recorded for entertainment purposes only. I am not a stock portfolio manager, a lawyer, a doctor, and you kind of shouldn't listen to me. Um, Most of the time, I'm right. Yeah, I'm right a lot. But sometimes I am just plain wrong. So don't make a decision like purchasing a house or buying a selling a stock based on anything I've said. Use your own wisdom. You guys know a lot. I see stuff in the comments where I'm like, "Wow, you guys are really wise. You guys are really smart." Use what you think because that's always going to be more important than anything I say, especially since timelines are particularly difficult for people who do what I do. uh I say it's March, and it's just like the guides, the spirit guides, they don't have watches. It's kind of tough to get a good timeline on a lot of events. So want to talk about what's going on right now. Oh my lordy. Wow. 47 and his insults and his mean things to reporters, and wow, it is just whole new level, you guys, a whole new level. We've moved past quiet piggy to using the R word, which I will not be saying, and calling people stupid. I mean, none of that stuff's new, but it's still kind of shocking that the president of the United States is doing that. Anyway, I don't know, I'm surprised. I just am. A lot of crazy stuff in the news. It's, the sad tragic event that happened on Thanksgiving, a day before Thanksgiving, with the National Guard. You guys know what happened. It's just so sad. I do fear, actually, and I see it happening, that they are going to use this as an opportunity to grab some of our rights, especially away from people who are immigrating, coming in. You already saw the list of countries. Some of you may have seen the list of countries where they're going to be having additional scrutiny before they give visas. Uh, just out of fun, just for fun, if you haven't looked at that list yet, just for in your mind, like write down which countries you think people of color come from, and then compare the list to the one that they put out. I'm not saying that they chose people from those countries because of their, the way their skin color, but let's just say Norway's not on the list. I'll just put it that way, okay? I would encourage you for a lot of December, and I'm going to say this in the beginning because it's kind of important, to do something that we learned when you move to Southern California. You learn how to duck dive. Okay, this is part of swimming in the ocean. If you've never swam in the ocean, sometimes the waves can be pretty big and it can be pretty intense. But one of the things that children learn fairly early is how to dive under those waves, because when you dive under the waves, no matter how big and strong the wave is, there's always about, sometimes this is as little as like 18 inches of quiet, very calm water underneath the wave. So as you're swimming under it, it's very calm and very peaceful. And then you watch the wave go over your head, and then you pop out on the other side. I'm going to encourage all of you guys to practice something like that, where you're ignoring the news for a bit, taking little breaks, going for walks, and letting what happens just sort of flow over you, okay? And just know that you're loved, because you are, and you're really important. And I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for watching. Okay. So I'm going to talk about some of the stuff I saw in the news. One of the things I wanted to talk about was, and I only saw this once, so I don't know if he just backed off of it. But 47 said that he wanted to cancel all of the initiatives that Biden had signed under using his auto pen. I don't know if a lawyer told him this wasn't going to work or what, but it's not going to work. And this actually comes from, there's a few things that he's already undone a lot of the executive orders that Biden signed, but there's a few that he doesn't really want to say that he doesn't want that he has his name on, and so he just wants to say, hey, just voiding everything so that I don't have to individually undo some of these. I think that's what that's about, but I think he's going to just have to individually undo some of the Biden era, executive orders. I don't think it's going to, I don't see it working. I'm just putting it that way. So if you're one of those people that got a pardon under Biden, I think you're still good. Okay, you guys, but he's going to, there's a lot of threats. There's a lot of loudness about it. I don't think it's going to play out. Other thing along those lines that I want to talk about I want to say it without saying it. Let's put it that way. if you've ever had any dealings with a narcissist, and you have, I'm sorry if you have, but if you know, right? One of the things they like to do is they like to blame others for the things that they've actually done. So in dating and in relationship, if your partner comes to you and says that they think you're cheating, and accuses you and says they want to see your phone, they're totally cheating. Okay. That's how you know that they're cheating because they come and accuse you of it if they're a narcissist. Narcissists love to take the thing that they're doing and blame someone else for doing it, and it directs attention away. When the Trump administration blamed the Biden administration of doing things on his behalf, but that he wasn't really that aware of, I would say that that's what they're doing, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Because that's just how a narcissist works. That's how narcissists play. They tend to blame other people. Now, I'm not saying they're always, if your partner's coming to you and yelling at you for cheating, that doesn't mean, they're always cheating. Yeah, it does. It totally does. 9 times out of 10, they're cheating. That's just my take on it. I've been a hypnotherapist for a million years, and I've seen this a million times. And when somebody blames you for something and they're a narcissist, they're probably doing it themselves almost always, I would say. So let's talk about some of the characters in this play here. Boy, Petey Hegseth, he is in the news in all the wrong ways right now for some pretty terrible things. And it's very fun. It's entertaining to watch him throw other people under the bus. I'm going to put it this way. I used to have a practice, hypnotherapy practice was fairly close to a military base. So I've worked with a lot of military personnel over the years, and I've grown to have a great deal of respect for them and the way they view the things and the passion these service people have for their occupation. One thing I have always been admired is how the way they take care of each other, the way they look out for each other, and they work as a team. What I have not seen is them throwing someone else under the bus. So I'm going to say that they tend to take care of their own in the military. I'm going to say that Hegseth is not really considered one of their own. Now I know he had a military career, and that's probably how he got his job on Fox News. But I would say that his personnel that works under him right now is seeing him more as a Fox News host than as their boss, as evidenced by all of these little leaks, which don't happen when people have a lot of respect for their boss. Okay. So if people aren't seeing him as somebody they protect, I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot. I think we're going to be seeing more of these leaks. That's what I'm saying. And I do feel like, do I think he's going to get any kind of prosecution for what happened? No, I'm really not seeing that. I'm sorry. I'm also not seeing him leaving right away. I think the administration is looking at it this way. If we replace Pete Hegseth with somebody else, are we going to be able to control that other person? Because I do think they feel like they can control Pete Hegseth, which they probably can. Okay, you guys. But I think he's going to be leaving in the next year. I feel like 3 of them are going to go at the same time. I feel like it's going to be Hegseth and Patel, and there's a third one. I'm not sure who though. It's not one of the women. But these things always happen in threes. But I do see 3 major cabinet members leaving, all at the same time, and it'll be one, and it'll be they're going to leave around the same time for different reasons. But Patel in particular, I know they want him out. He is not having a good time. He doesn't enjoy it. He thought it was going to be a different job than it was. He's not happy. I think he wants out. I think he wants to spend more time with his girlfriend. I don't blame him for that, right? But I do feel like they're all going to be leaving. I don't think it's going to happen right away. I think it's going to happen in the next year. Okay, in the new year. I want to say January, February, March-ish. I don't know. They don't want to lose him because he is somebody they perceive, as the administration perceives, as they can control him. And the next guy might not be that guy. Okay. I'm just saying. I know a lot of you guys have been concerned about military activity in Venezuela, and I'm sorry, I am seeing that happening. I do feel like it's going to be fairly quick. I think it's going to happen fairly soon, and I don't think it's going to last for a long, long time. But there's more going on to the story than we're been told, and it's not about what it appears to be about. I mean, I think most of you guys have not bought the whole idea that it's about shrugs. so I think we know that it's not it. It's probably about oil. but there's nothing that you or I can do about it right now. So you have to decide how you want to view this issue. It's sad, it's tragic, but allow yourself to say, okay, that's not what I voted for, that's not what I wanted, and bring it back to how the things that you can control, because there's going to be a lot of things in December and in the early part of the new year that you're going to see where you can't control any of it, okay? But you can control how you respond in your own personal life and how you approach your life and the things that you want to take care of for yourself. That's it. I would encourage you to do that. The other thing I want to talk about is I know that the president has put forward this idea of Kevin Hassett as being the next Fed chair, which I personally am not terribly excited about. Um, Meet Kevin did a great video on this. Yeah, I don't like this guy, but I just don't see him being the next Fed chair. And I can't say why. I think he is going to nominate him. The Senate may even confirm him, but for some reason I don't see him actually becoming the next Fed chair. When I tune into the next Fed chair, frankly, it feels more like Powell. So it's either Powell's term gets extended somehow, which probably isn't going to happen, but when I look at like how does this game work, I don't think that's how it works. But the next, let's be honest, old white dude who gets this job as Fed chair feels a little bit more energetically like Powell to me than like Hassett. Doesn't feel like Hassett at all. So I don't know how this plays out, but I don't see Hassett being the next Fed chair. The marketplace doesn't like him when the announcements when it's been looking like he was going to be the next guy. The market has said, you don't like this dude. A lot of people don't like this dude. So I would just say I don't feel it happening. If you're worried, I really don't see it happening. I'm not sure how it doesn't play out, but I feel like it's not going to play out that way. Okay, you guys? There's another thing I wanted to talk about that you guys have been asking me a lot in reading. So I'm just going to address it. People are asking me a lot in their personal readings about, dating. Did they break up with somebody? Shouldn't they not have broken up with the guy they broke up with? Should they have not have moved to this place that they moved to? I wasn't sure I made the right decision. I'm going to tell you when it comes to relationships, and if you're not in relationships, it doesn't apply to you. Humor me here. When and I would just encourage you not to second guess your decisions sometimes. When you decide that a relationship is done, there is a particular feeling, and sometimes you get back together with them and you break them up with them. It's fine, but don't worry that your guides are upset at you or that you've made the wrong decision. When used to hypnotize people and do past life regressions, and we would go into that in between place and just kind of witness that conversation that happens on the other side, where you get together with all of the future romantic partners and you decide what your roles are going to be. I'm going to be with you for a little bit of time, and you're going to be a real jerk to me, and it's going to make me really excited about the next guy who's comparatively going to be this amazing guy. And the conversation is like, do I have to be a jerk? I don't really want to be a jerk. Oh yeah, you kind of have to, but I promise that next time you can be the good guy in the story. Okay, great. That's how these conversations work on the other side. There is no one soulmate, by the way. You guys have figured this one out. You're smart. You figured this out. There isn't just one soulmate. There's lots of different people that you have a connection with and a relationship with that are part of your soul path. I would just encourage you not to second guess yourself so much. Yeah, we make choices and sometimes we make a different choice later, but just know that you haven't made a mistake. You haven't done something bad. Sometimes we're with someone for a while and they serve a purpose in our life, and when it's over, then they're done. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you moved into an amazing house and you're not sure it was the right decision, it's okay to make a different decision, but it's okay to also just sit on it for a little bit, okay? Because I feel like when we end up in new places, sometimes it's because there's somebody we're supposed to meet there. It's the place itself is supposed to change us a little bit. All of that is true, and I would encourage you just keep it with an open mind, okay? The next thing I want to talk about is the election in Tennessee that happened yesterday when I think it was Van Eppen, the Republican won. I know some of the Democrats are going to be scared. Does that mean that the Republicans are going to win everything next time? No, there is going to be some elections where the Democrats are going to win and some elections where the Republicans are going to win. Don't let the news media tell you that because one thing has happened that it's going to mean a whole mess of other things are going to happen too. That's not true. That's just not how anything works, Some elections are won, some elections are lost, and that's just how it is, you guys. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. When it comes to the elections coming up, the midterms, I do see the Democrats winning both the Senate and the House. Some of that may actually change before with some of these Republicans leaving. It's kind of surprising how many people have been quitting. Kind of interesting. But I don't see it being overwhelming majority. It's not going to be this overwhelming majority of Democrats. So if you're one of those people, you're like, maybe you're a Democrat and you're wondering, do I have to go stand in line in the rain to vote? Yeah, you do. If you want your person to win, because it's going to be slim. It's going to be close. I'm just saying. That's how I see it. But I could be wrong. I'm wrong sometimes. That's just the way it is. Okay, let's talk about tariffs. Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay, this is where I want to give credit to somebody whose video I watched that was pretty amazing. Meet Kevin. Now, I don't want you guys putting nasty things in the comments about his financial advice. I'm not commenting about that. I'm talking about a video that he did where he talked about how Trump was making a speech about how we collect all this tariff money, trillions and trillions. Well, it's actually closer to 80 billion, you guys, but we can call it trillions and trillions if you want. And what's been coming, because the Supreme Court is going to be giving a ruling early in next year, and me, Kevin, did point out, this is another one of these guys. I watch a lot of macroeconomic videos, you guys, and I'm 100% sure this guy does not watch me, but I do watch him. Okay, just saying. I'll put the video in the pinned comment so if you guys want to watch it yourselves. I think you should. I think it's very interesting. But anyway, um, Trump, during his little extended 3-hour cabinet thing, did talk about how, I wanted to give you all this money back. We collect all this money. You guys aren't going to have to pay. You guys weren't going to have to pay income tax and all of that. We all know that that's BS. You guys are all going to have to pay income taxes. But the blame is being put on the Supreme Court. So when they come back and say that tariffs are illegal, that the way he did it was not legal, which I do see happening, so that we can blame them and not the Trump administration for what's happened. Now, there's another kind of part of this story that I thought was interesting. I saw in the news that Costco joined the lawsuit suing the Trump administration, wanting their tariff money back. Personally, I have had some dealings with Costco on a professional level, not just the dealings I have with them every week when I go buy my stuff there and get my gas. I work for a company. We're trying to get a product into Costco, and I can tell you, Costco is very shrewd in their business making. They do not lose money on a transaction. So if they ask for their money back from the government, I can guarantee you they have the best lawyers money can buy. And they are pretty assured of getting it back. I feel like those bigger companies might very well get their tariff money back. I do feel like it could happen. I actually feel like I'm not 100% on this one, but I feel like there's 80-20 that it's gonna happen, that they're gonna get their tariff money back. But the smaller businesses, the smaller mom and pop operations, I don't really see that happening, you guys. I would not hold your breath if you have one of those operations or one of those smaller businesses. Maybe you import a whole mess of coffee from another country and you had to pay a nasty tariff. I'm sorry, I wouldn't hold your breath on getting it back. But that may get canceled in the future. You may not have to pay a tariff. But I do see the Supreme Court siding with with us, not siding with the Trump administration on this, and perhaps even writing the ruling in such a way that makes it so they can't try to come at it from a different angle or try a different approach and approach this tariff problem again. I do feel like they're going to shoot it down so strongly that they won't have to tackle this tariff issue again. I do see that happening, you guys, in the next year. But that Meet Kevin did a whole video, and I think you guys should watch it, okay? The other thing I want to talk about is the Trump administration is talking about pulling away food stamps for green card holders. Now, they kind of make it sound like these are not citizens who just haven't put in their paperwork yet to become citizens. People who've been allowed to be here. These are oftentimes the spouses of U.S. citizens. Um, you guys, as a weird side note, my mother-in-law was a green card holder, and none of us even knew that she still had a green card until she let us know that she was going to her citizenship ceremony because she wanted to vote for Hillary Clinton. That's why she finally did it. She was a Canadian citizen. I thought she'd gotten and became an American a long time ago. So a lot of people have these green cards that are permanent residents I don't see the Trump administration being able to pull the food stamps away from them. A lot of those people, first of all, it's only, I think, 3 to 5% of food stamp holders are green card holders. These are not illegal aliens from other countries here illegally. These are people that were approved, and many of them have been here a really long time, and just didn't want to spend the money, and didn't do the paperwork to become an American citizen yet. I do see them having to pay those food stamps for that cohort. I also, just as a side note, I'm just out of curiosity, if you guys were one of those people that had a green card and then finally went and paid the fee and got the what motivated you to do it? Was it voting for someone? Because I'm gonna guess a lot of people finally put it in because they wanted to vote for a particular person. That's just a thought. I'm just putting that out there. ICE raids, yes, bad. It's gonna get bad. Um, it is escalating and it's getting to a bad point, but I do see the Supreme Court in the next year kind of curtailing some of what they're allowed to do, but they're working hard and fast to try and get as much of this work done before somebody tells them to stop. And they're trampling on a lot of rights. I'm sorry, you guys, if you're one of those people in that position of watching this happen and you're scared, you'll have to take those threats seriously because it's continuing and it is escalating. I do see it getting calmed down in the next year, probably the middle of next year, but for now, this is the reality we're living in. And if you're one of those people that's scared, do whatever you need to do to get your paperwork put together and make yourself legal. Okay? Whatever you can do. If there's something you can do. Okay? And also, I wanted to talk about, I do have some exciting shows coming up this month. I'm really happy, you guys. Jacqueline Holton's coming back on December 9th. A couple of people you guys ask me about all the time, Kim from Intuitive View, she's going to be back on the 16th. We're going to be talking about 2026 stuff. And the person you guys asked me about the absolute most in the comments is Karen Schroeder. I think we haven't nailed it down exactly, but I think it's going to be December 23rd. We'll get that episode up. So they're coming back. I'm excited about it. I'm also trying to get somebody. I want to know from you guys if you're interested in this. I'm trying to get somebody from the Transatlantic Paranormal Society, the guys that did the Ghost Hunter show, to see if they could be on the show and talk about ghosts. I have a snowball's chance in hell of getting them to come on the show, but I thought I'd ask, right? I'm most likely going to send the email a few times and I'm just going to get ghosted. Ghosted, you get it? Okay. But if you guys are even interested in that, let me know in the comments. I'm excited about that. And the last prediction I'm going to make is something that none of you guys asked about, but I want to talk about it. There's a movie that I saw that is going to get an Oscar. I'm 100% sure that K-pop Demon Hunters is going to win an Oscar, and possibly for the song, most likely for the song, for sure for the animation movie. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm going to give you the coveted by no one Jill Thomas guarantee that you will love this movie. Okay. It's really cute. Kids can watch it. Unlike a Disney movie, when they say that kids can watch it, this one, kids really can watch it. There's a nice message there, but it's not in your face like it is with some of the other companies. This one is really cute. I would highly recommend watching it, and I'm absolutely convinced it's going to get an Oscar. Okay, so let's show some cards here. But I really did enjoy this one, you guys. I'm just saying. Okay, let's see what's going on this week. Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. Moving out of troubled waters. I don't know who this applies to, if this is everyone. There's some things changing. You're going to be making some shifts this week to pull yourselves out of troubled waters. It's going to move into a better place, okay? This is interesting. This is the 6 of Cups. This is the trust of a child. It's going to be okay. Have a little bit more faith. Know that you're loved. Know that your situation is just temporary. This is also kind of sharing, giving, and receiving of gifts, sharing what you know, sharing your skills, and knowing that everything's going to be all right, you guys. King of Wands, new energy coming in from a strong place, from a place of strength. This is interesting. Place of strength, knowing that everything's going to be okay. This one, I'm going to have to cover this a little bit. The Lover's card. Okay, apparently YouTube doesn't like to see naked people on the screen. So I've been warned about this one. I'm just showing you. This is the Lover's card. For some of you, this is going to be literally about relationships, but I think in general, I feel like this message is for all of us to tap into self-love, loving ourselves, taking care of ourselves, nurturing our own gifts, our own skills, and coming from a place of peace with a lot of things. I know there's a lot of chaos going on right now. I want you to know it's going to be okay. You guys are still going to be here. Things are still going to be, we're still going to have a democracy. We're still going to have a country. Even if it doesn't go to your political party, it's going to be fine. I promise you, the chaos is going to get calmer a little bit later. Uh, maybe not today, maybe not Thursday at 6, but it's going to get better. I promise. Things are going to get better. Okay. And on that note, thank you for liking and subscribing. I love you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all your kind words in the comments. It means a lot to me. I love doing this. This is fun for me. So I really appreciate when you guys appreciate that work. So thank you so much. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Love you guys. Bye.